Okay, picture this. The yellow flag hits the turf. Suddenly, the entire stadium, millions watching at home, all eyes just snap to one person. Black and white stripes.
Yeah, everyone holds their breath, right? Waiting for that call. It's maybe 30 seconds, but it feels like forever, and it can literally change everything.
Exactly. And what most of us, don't really grasp is what goes into that single moment. It's not just guesswork. It's the result of intense, unseen preparation. Years of it.
Decades, sometimes. We all see the pressure on the players, the coaches, obviously. But today, we're diving deep into the world of the NFL officials themselves.
That's right. We're unpacking the sources, looking at the incredible commitment, the sort of dual lives they lead, and this really rigorous system that governs only 120 people who actually make it onto an NFL field?
Just 120 at any given time, yeah.
Yeah.
Our mission today is really to get behind the stripes, understand what it actually takes.
And let's start with the thing that honestly still blows my mind every time I think about it. Unlike basically everyone else involved at that level, players, coaches, front office folks, NFL officials are not full-time employees of the league.
Right. That's the key. They're essentially highly skilled contractors brought in seasonally. It's not a year-round salary gig like a quarterback or head coach.
Which is just wild when you think about the intensity, the pressure, the importance of their job. They're technically part-time, but as our sources show, the commitment is anything but.
Oh, absolutely not. They're juggling this incredibly demanding NFL role with often really high-powered day jobs.
We're talking attorneys, right? Business executives, school principals, engineers.
Serious careers. And the question becomes, how on earth do you fit what the NFL demands into an already packed professional life?
That's the puzzle. And the sources are really clear. This isn't some, casual weekend hobby.
Not even close. During the season, officials are putting in well over 30 hours a week just on NFL stuff.
30 hours on top of their main job.
On top of their main job. Film study, rules meetings, physical training, travel.
Yeah.
It all adds up. Plus, they're traveling, more than 20 weekends a year.
It's basically 2 full-time jobs. I saw this quote from a veteran ref, really sums it up. He said, being an NFL official is like having 2 full-time jobs. Monday through Friday, I'm at my regular profession, but nights and weekends are dedicated entirely to football. He even said the mental prep rivals any players.
And without the same kind of public glory, usually, it's a job that demands incredible balance.
Yeah, mostly public scrutiny, right?
Yeah, there's that too. But interestingly, one source, Football Refs Magazine, suggests this whole dual career thing might actually be a benefit.
How so?
Think about it. You've got people who are, say, lawyers used to complex analysis, or business leaders used to high-pressure decisions, or teachers skilled in communication. They bring those problem-solving skills from their day jobs onto the field.
Okay. So that diversity of experience adds a different kind of edge to their officiating?
Exactly. Real-world leadership, making tough calls under pressure. It translates.
Okay, let's dig into those 30-plus hours then. That's way more than a typical part-time commitment. What are they actually doing during all those evenings and weekends, it sounds like? Like organized obsession.
It really is systematized. And a huge chunk, maybe 15, even 20 hours a week, is just film study.
15 to 20 hours of watching game tape.
Yep. But they're using specialized software, like the teams use, but looking for different things. They're not analyzing offensive schemes so much as, potential penalties.
So they're scouting fouls, not plays.
Precisely. They're looking at formations, player tendencies. Which offensive linemen tend to move a fraction early? Which defensive backs get a bit handsy downfield? They're trying to anticipate where the flags might need to fly.
That's a fascinating perspective shift. So it's not just reacting, it's proactive analysis.
Very much so. And it's not just solo homework either. The crew, the 7 officials who work together all season, they have mandatory conference calls, usually Tuesday and Thursday nights, for maybe 2 or 3 hours each time. They're reviewing film together, discussing calls from the previous week across the league, hashing out tricky rule interpretations the league sends down.
So they're constantly calibrating with each other in the league office. I found this detail interesting. They make up their own quizzes.
They do. To keep each other sharp on the really obscure stuff. The kind of thing you might see once a season, but you have to get right instantly.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay. Maybe something like, if a defender illegally bats a loose ball in the end zone, but an offensive player recovers it, is it still a safety or is it a touchback? Those fine points.
Right. The details that could swing a game and require immediate correct judgment. No time to think.
Exactly. And then there's the physical side. We see them standing, maybe jogging, but they're serious athletes.
Yeah, you mentioned running. How much?
Typically between 5 and 7 miles during a game. A lot of that is short, intense bursts. Sprints to get into position. They need top-level cardio and agility.
5 to 7 miles. Wow. Okay. I definitely didn't picture that much running.
Yeah, their conditioning is crucial for being in the right spot, which leads to the travel. They fly into the game city on Saturday.
At least 24 hours before kickoff.
Minimum. And Saturday night, there's a required crew dinner meeting. It's not just social, it's highly structured. Final game plan, communication protocols, key points for this specific matchup based on their week's prep. Total focus before game day hits.
Okay, so let's connect all that prep to the game itself.
Sure.
The real pressure cooker, game day. They show up hours early, right? 3-4 hours before kickoff. Dress professionally.
Yep, business attire. And that pregame period is incredibly structured. It's not just waiting around. There are equipment checks, security briefings.
And meetings, you mentioned.
Critical meetings. The referee, the one in the white hat, and the umpire will meet with both head coaches. They go over any specific rule points for the day, check player equipment, things like that.
And the rest of the crew.
They meet with the chain crew, the folks managing the down markers, to make sure everyone's perfectly synchronized on the mechanics.
Okay, mechanics. We hear that term when they talk about grading officials. What does it mean specifically?
Mechanics is basically the official's playbook for how they move on the field. Where they stand for each type of play, the specific signals they use, how they move to spot the ball. It's all standardized across the league.
So being like 2 steps out of position is a mechanics error.
Exactly. And that error could mean you miss a crucial holding call because your view was blocked. Consistency in mechanics is demanded.
Got it. And that ties into what they do on the field before the game too, right? About 50 minutes before kickoff.
They're out there stretching, but also running through positioning drills. They literally practice sprinting to their spots for different formations, acting out penalty signals. It needs to be absolute muscle memory.
So all that practice fuels the big challenge, making those instant calls under massive pressure.
Right. No time for rulebook checks. They rely on those mental models they drill all week, like if-then scenarios.
Give me an example.
Simple one. If the quarterback scrambles out of the pocket and throws the ball away, then I immediately need to check if he was outside the tackle box and if the ball reached the line of scrimmage to decide if it's grounding.
Okay, so it's building mental shortcuts for rapid processing.
Yeah, the goal is to achieve that flow state we talked about, where decisions feel instinctive but are grounded in that deep preparation and rule knowledge.
And communication must be key, too. They've got the high-tech headsets, right?
Yep, wireless systems. The referee has the microphone for stadium announcements, but they all have headsets for constant crew communication.
What are they saying to each other?
All sorts of things. Watch the tackle on this pass rush, or I've got goal line, or maybe confirming the down and distance quickly. It's vital for teamwork.
And dealing with emotional players or coaches?
That's a huge part of it. They get specific training in conflict, de-escalation, even psychology. Using firm, respectful language, trying to manage the situation without making it worse. It's a real skill.
Which, brings up the next big question. After all that, after making hundreds of these instant calls under the microscope, how are they actually judged? Because the game ends, but the evaluation is just beginning.
Yeah, the accountability sounds relentless. It's not about whether their team won, it's about whether they were right. Every single play.
Every call, every non-call, their positioning, their mechanics, it all gets put under a microscope by league supervisors using multiple camera angles.
It sounds incredibly detailed.
It is. An official might get, say, 50 to 100 specific feedback points from just one game.
50 to 100 notes.
Yeah.
Seriously, for one game.
And these notes are specific. Was it a judgment error, like misinterpreting intent on a pass interference call, or was it a mechanics error, like being in the wrong spot?
Wow. So basically every Monday morning, they've got a 4 or 5 hour performance review waiting for them? Pretty much, yeah. They spend hours going over that feedback, analyzing their own tape, often keeping detailed journals. What did I miss? Why? How do I fix it? The focus is really on continuous improvement.
And those grades aren't just for feedback, right? They have real consequences.
Absolutely. Grades determine future assignments, consistently high grades. You get the big games, the playoff assignments. That's the ultimate validation.
And the Super Bowl obviously is the peak.
The absolute pinnacle. Low scores, on the other hand, can mean fewer high-profile games, maybe even getting shuffled within the crew, or ultimately not being invited back next season. It's a true meritocracy based on performance.
And there's technology backing them up now too, right?
Yes, the Art McNally Game Day Central. Think of it as mission control.
The central replay hub.
Exactly. You've got replay officials there monitoring every game simultaneously. They handle the replay reviews, provide that extra layer of quality control. But it's important to remember, the vast majority of calls are still made in real time, on the field, by the crew.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Talk about the practical side. The money and the personal cost of this intense second career.
Right. It is professionalized, even if it's part-time. The pay reflects that. NFL officials generally make somewhere in the range of, say, $205,000 up to maybe $250,000 a year.
And that's a mix of base salary and per game fees.
Correct. And the referees, the crew chiefs, and the white hats, they're typically at the higher end of that scale.
And the Super Bowl gig. That comes with a nice bonus, I hear.
Oh, yeah. Getting assigned to the Super Bowl can mean an extra $50,000 or more just for that one game. It's the top honor, and it's compensated accordingly.
But even with that kind of money, which is significant, you're saying almost all of them still keep their primary full-time careers.
That's the crucial point. For most, the NFL money, while great, isn't enough to justify giving up a high-level career they've potentially spent decades building.
Which brings us to the other side of the coin. The personal toll, the scrutiny must be unbelievable.
It's immense. Every single decision is dissected instantly by broadcasters, analysts, millions of fans on social media, often harshly.
How do they cope with that constant judgment?
They have to build incredible psychological resilience, learning to focus purely on the process, on making the right call based on their training, and trying really hard to separate that professional judgment from their personal self-worth. It's not easy.
Does the league help with that?
They do. The NFL provides resources like confidential counseling and support networks, which kind of highlights how serious the pressure is. Many officials develop their own mental routines too, meditation, visualization, things like that, just to stay composed.
And what about family life? Being gone practically every weekend during the season.
Yeah, that's tough. Leaving Friday, maybe not getting back until Monday morning, missing birthdays, anniversaries, kids' events. It puts a huge strain on families.
They must need incredibly understanding partners.
Absolutely. Strong family support is essential. And they develop routines, schedule video calls, really detailed check-ins, trying to stay connected while navigating these two demanding worlds. So if you zoom out and look at the whole picture, becoming one of these 120 officials, it's usually a journey of like 15 or even 20 years.
Wow, that long?
Yeah, working your way up systematically. High school games, then college, maybe Division III, then a 2, then sometimes semi-pro leagues. You have to climb the ladder, level by level.
So the ones who make it to the NFL are truly the elite, chosen from a massive pool?
Absolutely. Think about it. Yeah. There are over 50,000 football officials working at all levels across the country. These 120 are the absolute cream of the crop.
And reaching that level requires this incredible mix of, unwavering integrity, top physical condition, knowing that massive rule book inside out, and having those sharp communication skills we talked about.
All of it. And these part-time professionals, through that dedication, are fundamentally upholding the integrity of, let's face it, America's most popular, multi-billion-dollar sport.
Committing to fair play, player safety, all under this intense spotlight few of us could probably handle.
And they prepare for everything. It's not just rules and film. They have specific protocols they practice for dealing with pouring rain, driving snow, extreme heat, every possible condition.
So thinking about all this, the incredible weekly grind, the physical demands, the mental pressure, the constant grading, all from people who aren't even full-time league employees. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Consider this. Can you think of any other sport that demands this very specific, intense level of week-in, week-out preparation and performance evaluation from its part-time officials? And maybe flip it around for yourself. What skill from your own job? Maybe it's quick analysis from finance, or maybe patience from teaching, or calm under pressure from being a first responder. What skill do you think would actually translate well and maybe make you a better NFL ref? Something to think about next time you see that yellow flag fly.